everyone.
Shall we start?
Hello.
Okay.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you, and welcome to CLO-SET Skill Up Webinar 3.0. And my name is Jessica, and I'm the Business Development Manager for the team. And I would also like to introduce rest of our team who joined our webinar today. So I will hand it over to Serena.
Hello, everyone. By the way, Jason, I can hear you breathing. So yeah, nice to meet you all. My name is Serena. I'm also a business development manager for CLO-SET, and I was actually the presenter last time, but today Jessica and Jason will go through everything, and then I will come back for the Q&A session. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, I will be also answering a lot of your questions as well. So nice to meet you all. I'll pass on to Jason now.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Jason, the CLO-SET account manager located in Hong Kong. And it's the nice time to see you guys again in this webinar. And for this time, I will also help to introduce more CLO-SET features to you all. And I hope you enjoy the upcoming presentation. Yeah, so I will pass the time back to Jessica. And I think she's ready for the webinar.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. See you guys soon. All right. So for today's webinar, our main topic is to understand how to utilize 3D assets during assortment planning and production and retail workflow by using our CLO-SET platform. So before we start our webinar, I would like to quickly go over our webinar agenda. So as the first part, I'm going to walk you through the recap of the previous webinar, and I will introduce you to the 3D workflow during the assortment planning, production, and retail stage, respectively. And as a second part of the webinar, Jason will take you all through the live demo by showing step-by-step process in order to follow the 3D workflow, which I covered in the earlier session. Thirdly, but not least, we will run the live Q&A session to answer the questions we received during the webinar session. So please stay tuned and share the questions and feedbacks during our live session. And we will randomly ask the poll questions in between the webinar, and we will select the participants and provide the free advanced trials for the winners. And in addition, we will share the presentation documents after the webinar along with the recorded link. So stay tuned. So in the previous webinar, we covered the design development workflow along with the live demo and live Q&A session. And for those who missed or wish to watch our previous webinar session, don't worry. We're also providing the recording through our YouTube channel and also from our Help Center page. So let's officially start our Skill Up webinar session. And let's begin with the assortment planning workflow. So before we go deep dive into the workflow, it is really important for us to understand the group structural spaces, especially the workroom and then the assortment. On the left side of the presentation slide, I've prepared the CLO-SET group structure diagram for everyone's reference. So what is workroom? Can anyone answer? Since we are quite tight on time, I will just answer this question. So workroom is a space where the contents are uploaded and practical work is performed, just like the local drive folder from your desktop computer. And the next question is, what is assortment room? Assortment room is where you can select the contents from the workroom folder and be able to compare and review the multiple 3D assets in one single space. Meaning that for the assortment planning workflow, the assortment room will be the key space where a relevant team would perform their task the most. So let's look further into the assortment room. In order for designers and merchandisers or even sales team to select the content options, Assortment provides various reviewing tools for our users to effectively compare the different styles and make the final selection. Therefore, when merchandisers needs to make the assortment, they select the options from the workroom and create their assortment. Once the assortment is created, the merchandiser will be able to see the list of the items with the 3D viewers. What's amazing about the Assortment Room is that the merchandisers can compare multiple 3D assets in one single page without having to open the 3D files individually. Merchandisers can also activate the 3D viewers so that they can zoom in and out and rotate the 3D garments and even turn on the avatars and also open the rendering image in this one single 3D viewers. And while making the assortment decision, merchandisers can invite the relevant teams such as sales team or design teams to share their feedbacks by using our communication tools such as the comments. And finally, merchandiser can make the colorway selections by pinning the colorway chip of the individual colorway. And merchandisers can also export the list of the pinned colorways in Excel by using the Excel download feature. Here, on the very right side of the presentation slide, I have input the outcome of how the Excel sheet that you will receive by using our Excel download function as well. Also, merchandisers can mix and match the 3D garments from the Assortment Room as well. By using the mix and match function, merchandiser can better understand and plan their assortment by using our mix and match feature. In addition, the final result of the mix and match image can be also exported as the PNG file. Therefore, when merchandiser has the assortment review with the external teams, they can utilize this PNG file from their PPT or mirror board to better support their assortment documentations. Also, from the Assortment Room, users will be soon able to generate the web-based range plan out of the selected styles. Once CLO-SET auto-generate the web-based range plan, merchandisers will be able to input all the assortment information in it. What's amazing about using CLO-SET range plan is that we provide the auto-synchronization of the prototype image. Unlike the traditional Excel range plan, where they constantly have to update the product information, merchandisers can now manage their range plan automatically with the least amount of the manual work by using our CLO-SET web-based range plan. Once merchandisers complete inputting the product information, not only the merchandisers, but all the product-related teams can join the Assortment Room and create the range board. Based on the product information that was already inputted from the range plan, users can select the appropriate filter categories such as price, retail introduction date, or product category, and auto-generate the range board depending on your needs. So depending on the needs, now merchandisers, sales team, or even visual merchandisers can easily create the product rollout calendar, price map, or etc. Depending on the range board that they wanted to generate based off of their workflow. Next, let's move on to the production workflow. CLO-SET offers the 3D Web Tech Pack, where we auto-generate the tech pack based off of the 3D design. Within the 3D Web Tech Pack, we're providing the Overview tab where users can manage the production schedule of the individual 3D garments. Secondly, we provide the 3D BOM feature where 3D designers and technical designers can manage all of the bill of materials while having the 3D visibility of the individual design component. Designers can also invite the vendors into the space and communicate with using our communication tool and manage and edit the design components within the BOM page. Our WebTech BOM page can be viewed and be added per each colorway and per grading. All columns except for the remark can be added per each colorway and gradings as well. Importantly, if each component of the fabrics and trims were stored in the CLO-SET library and used to make the 3D garments from the CLO-3D using CLO-SET and CLO, then the content ID will automatically be synced as well. In addition to WebTech, in addition to the BOM and then the overview, the WebTech Pack also provides the construction page. I really wanted to highlight this construction page with you guys and wanted to provide more example of how other users are actually utilizing the construction page in detail. So as you guys would all know, construction in fashion refers to the stitching of the garments and all the sewing techniques involved in the process, right? So fabric, trim, and every detail are intertwined and all should be listed within the construction page. So the construction page in our WebTech Pack automatically is integrated in the material list of the 3D garments produced by the CLO-3D software, and automatically generates the fabric, pattern, and all the trim parts in a separate pages with the flexibility to add and delete and duplicate more pages. And within each pages, there are auto-generated number of markers that indicates use of fabric, patterns, and trims respectively. Users can also add and delete and edit each markers. And users can also add the annotations and comments within the constructor viewer for detailed communication with the external users. Last but not least, CLO-SET WebTech Pack includes the measurement and then the cost estimation tab. So the measurement in the WebTech Pack is automatically integrated within the POM, initially generated within the from the CLO-3D software. The 2D and 3D measurements that are synced from CLO-3D, the target and the target measurement can be filled out to make the garment fit the designer's purposes and standards. The cost estimation is automatically integrated with the data of the 3D garments produced by the CLO-3D software as well, and allows our users to estimate and determine the total cost of the producing garment or item. It includes the raw material cost, construction of the garment, trim, packing, and shipping, and operation expenses and manpower. And lastly, let's go over the retail workflow. So let's assume that the assortment is confirmed from the merchandiser side. And the next step would be for the sales team to showcase the assortment and then the range that the merchandiser has been has made, right? So once the assortment is confirmed, merchandisers or sales team would be able to create the virtual showroom from the assortment room. So CLO-SET is going to release a virtual showroom phase 1 in a upcoming few weeks. And users will be able to display their 2D and 3D designs within the 3D virtual space. Merchandisers can utilize this showroom to visually represent their assortment and share them with the sales team, while sales team can also utilize this showroom space to invite the customer and preview their collections. And as in phase 2, CLO-SET is planning to add the order management function on top of it, so that this virtual showroom can actually be utilized during the sell-in processes. Aside from the virtual showroom, sales team and e-commerce team can also utilize the 3D assets and embed the 3D viewers to their e-commerce website. Not only we're going to provide the 3D viewers, CLO-SET also provides the fitting conversion service, which allows customer to create avatar with the user customized body shape and size. And we also provide the virtual garments in real time, and users will be able to check the fitting along with the 3D viewers. In fact, many of the brands are actually utilizing this 3D viewers within their e-commerce website on top of their actual lookbook image, so that the customer can take a detailed look of the garments before their purchase. In the next slide, I would like to introduce you the future roadmap that we are envisioning from our CLO-SET side. So first is the expanding the 3D value to the non-CLO users. So CLO-SET is trying to expand our audience to able to utilize the 3Ds not only for the 3D designer, but also for the non-3D designers, so that the non-3D designers and then merchandisers, or even the technical designers or pattern makers, they can join our CLO-SET and to be able to utilize the 3D assets easily by using our CLO-SET feature, such as the material configurator to change the colorway, or text configurator by changing the texture without having to have a professional knowledge of using the CLO software. So we really wanted to lower the boundary of using and designing the 3D design without having to have a professional knowledge. And next, we have utilizing and analyzing the 3D data. Here, we're going to focus on the colorway analytics of the contents in a workroom level, such as total color composition rate, or dominant color rate, or top 5 primary color used. And our users will be able to demonstrate different color charts to show the trend over the period of the colorways within the workroom that they have been using in the past. And last but not least, I'm sure that a lot of you guys are very interested in the last topic, which is the API and then the plugin topics. So currently, our team is preparing, and it is getting more and more ready to build out more open APIs so that our CLO-SET can be connected and can be integrated at your own different needs. But at the same time, we will also build a standard PLM integration within CLO-SET. Instead of being an external plugin, the integration of the CLO-SET with PLM will be an inbuilt solution, simply meaning that it will be a feature within CLO-SET. So that was end of my presentation to walk you through how the assortment planning and production and retail workflow can be utilized, can be workable by using our CLO-SET platform. And Jason is going to take over from now on and show you the live demo, how to use each of the features, which I walked you guys over by step.
Hello, everyone. So, as I already see, there are many questions related to the features and also, for example, assortment, etc. So I hope the upcoming live demo can really help you to understand the whole workflow of how to utilize those features in assortment planning, production, and even retailing. So let me share my screen. And if you have any questions, just feel free to continue asking it in the chat room. So in the later Q&A session, we will collect your questions and then we will answer it one by one. So let me share my screen now. Yeah, and also please let me know if you cannot see my screen. Yeah, in the chat room. Okay, so let us start it. So in the last webinar, we have completed the following 3D samples, but it will be difficult to refill it since the sample are grouped into different workrooms, such as top, bottom, dress, etc. So for this situation, as what Jessica mentioned, we can use the assortment to do it. So we can go back to the upper level and click Create Assortment. And a new assortment is created. So let's go inside. Assortment is a room for reviewing and making decisions of multiple styles at once. So we can collect the contents from different workrooms and use it when we make decisions on our design collection during the team meeting. So to start the review, we can add the contents from different workrooms. So we can browse it by the tree menu. Okay, a new content has been loaded. But let's say we have loaded multiple styles, the result will look like this. So we can start to refill our collection from this assortment. Firstly, when we put our cursor on each thumbnail, the sample will be rotated. We can also refill the style in 3D, in full screen, and with different colorways. And finally, the style can also display it as render image. So it's the basic way to refill each style within the assortment. But we can also try to mix and match different styles to know what the outfit looks like finally. So let's try to select several styles by taking the checkbox and go to the mix and match page. Simple mix and match is a closet feature that allows us to play around with the garment. So first, we may define the style, either it is a top or a bottom. And click to access the mix and match page. Then we might drag and drop the top and bottom into the viewer. Okay. The garments are loaded, but we have to match it together by the gizmo tool. So we can hold either one of the arrow and move it in specific direction. Or we can also hold the middle part to move it freely. So by the simple navigation, finally, we got the first mix and match. So we can capture the result and export it as a PNG image. So by repeating the same process with different style, we may preview the outcome with different matching. And we can base on this to discuss within the team whether which outfit should be included in this upcoming collection. But let's say we have made the conclusion based on this, and we can go back to the assortment page and mark down our decision. So first, we can display the style by each colorway. Then we may highlight the style we wanted to select by the pin below. Or for the style we wanted to drop, we can just turn off the pin. And we can leaving down any conclusion in the comments tab. And lastly, we can share this assortment page to everyone by email. We are also able to export the selected style in an Excel sheet. Then we can use it for the further merchandising. So it is the closet assortment. But as Jessica mentioned, we are going to develop more features such as the range board or virtual showroom to enhance the capacity of assortment planning with the 3D assets. But for now, as the collection has been confirmed, we can talk about the last stage, production and retelling. So let's go back to the content page of the 3D samples. So for production, we can select tab pad next to the latest version of the sample. We can generate and download an Excel tab pad that contains the information of the garment construction, such as the cutter must, the BOM of each colorway, the nesting, fabric consumption, graphic placement, and measurement. Then user can continue to customize the details based on these Excel sheets. So that is the offline version of tab pad generated from CLO-SET. But on the other hand, CLO-SET provides another feature, Web tab pad, that allows us to manage the physical production with the 3D data in real time. In the first tab, Overview, we can check the overall 3D style information and manage the production schedule. The basic information will be shown in the summary, and we can manage its workflow. We can also create a new field as the additional information. On the other hand, we can preview the technical drawing, or we can turn off the schematic render option to display it with original texture. Then at the bottom, we can record down the production schedule, such as review completed. So that is the first tab, and let's go to the second tab, BOM. In the BOM tab, it shows the cost of the raw materials, such as fabric, graphic, button, etc. But as Jessica mentioned, if the 3D sample was created with different colorways and size, and the BOM will be listed separately. And for each materials, such as fabric, it will show its name, color, even the marker based on the presets in CLO-3D. We can also change its fabric consumption and the unit price for the final calculation. And as one of the benefits of using the BOM tab, it can be connected with the existing materials stored in CLO-SET, such as the fabric in the company library. And we can also connect it with the other materials, such as zipper. Then the 3D data are linked throughout the whole production workflow. Okay, so that is the second tab, BOM, and let's have a look on the construction. The construction tabs allows user to mark annotation explaining the workmanship and the construction of the sample in 3D. First of all, the left-hand side is showing the pages. It is generated according to the materials such as pattern, fabric, graphic, etc. But it also includes a cover page to mark down the main details. So let's start from here. We can click the top button and add our first annotation. Then, by using the tools below the window, we can add lines, text, any polygons, graphic to specify the details. So let me show you now. And you will find that if you have joined the last webinar, the usage will be the same as the annotation tool in the contents page of each 3D file. Then click Save to complete it. Okay, the first annotation is saved, but let's say we have completed the whole cover page. We can start to edit the other page for the specific materials. For example, the patterns. For this time, the pattern set is listed on the right-hand side, and we can click on each thumbnail to read the pattern. By the way, they are grouped by the fabric type. So if we want to preview the pattern as a set, we can click the bottom thumbnail. Okay, so for example, we wanted to zoom in to the color and make the annotation. We can first use the button on the top and zoom in to the color. Click Save. Then we use the same editing tool to mark the annotation. But you'll find that this time there are some code or some label on the color. It is specifying each pattern and its location. So by using the tool at the bottom, we can edit, add, delete, and to change the label. So let's say the whole page is completed. We can finish the rest, such as the fabric or the graphic or etc. We can also add more page if needed. It can be made according to the auto marker, different types of material, or we can add a blank page. So that is the construction tape. We can utilize it to explain the production details of the sample. But let's go to the fourth tape, measurement. In this tape, the measurement will be shown according to the POM presets from Clo-3D. So when we click on each column of POM, the measurement will be highlighted in the 3D viewer. And by clicking the thumbnail in the chart, it will show the highlights on the 2D pattern so that we can check the location of the POM in both 2D and 3D. And let's have a look on the measurement charts. For each POM, it is listed as 2D length and 3D length. While 2D length is the original measurement of the 2D pattern, 3D length shows the measurement from the actual samples. As the length might be changed under the fabric property and the sewing process, this comparison can make sure the garment fits the designer purpose and standard. But if there's any tolerance, we can mark it down as target. So finally, as a remark, we can change the measurement preference, such as the display unit as well. Okay, so that is the measurement tape. And let's go to the last one, cost estimation. In this tape, it shows the amount of production costs, including the POM of the raw material and other expenses, such as the labor costs or the trimming, packaging, etc. The chart is editable so that user can get the amount in real time. And it also includes such as the currency converter to support the calculation, and the amount will be shown on the top. So here is the last tape in the web tab pad. But as a wrap-up, web tab pad includes all the information that will be used in the latest production and merchandising, such as the workmanship and the costing. By utilizing the CLO-SET tab pad, we might connect the 3D sample to the physical production seamlessly. Besides, we still miss the last workflow. So let's briefly walk through the retelling in CLO-SET now. First of all, we can go back to the content page and we can click Embed at the bottom. The contents can be released to the public, and we can embed these 3D viewer to our website so that our visitor can review the product virtually. Besides, CLO-SET provides another embed viewer, fitting surface. We can use it by selecting the style in the assortment, and it can be embedded in our website as well. The difference of this embed viewer is the user, just like this website, the user can type in their measurement and try on the product virtually. Then it also provides the fit map to support the customer making the judgment before purchasing the products. So by utilizing the following features, we can expand the usage of the 3D assets to the retelling level. So here actually comes to the end of the live demo. I hope you enjoy the presentation, and also CLO-SET can be a big support in your 3D journey. But now I believe you still have like lots of questions related to the features and everything. So let me also invite Serena and Jessica come back to the stage again, and we can start the Q&A session.
Hello, guys. How was the presentation and live demo? I hope it was great for you. And thanks all of you guys. We've been trying to answer your questions as much as possible, but then I also saved some of the questions to answer to you through this session. So let me go one by one. So let's start with the assortment room first. So exactly about the assortment room, literally the definition of assortment room is the place where you can make a decision making easier and faster, not just with the one product, but with the multiple products in one place. So like when you go to the content page, workroom, basically what you can do is share the items or share the content, or have a deep dive communication inside of it. But in assortment room, with the results that you have, such as rendered image or the turntable images, or with the avatar on, you can have multiple contents in one place and then review with the colorway and etc. So for that, I would like to show you how you can do it in live right now. So let me share my screen. Okay, so to answer a few questions about assortment room, so this is the workroom right now, and then how you can access the assortment room is if you have a specific garment ready to do the decision-making process, just click this, check the boxes, and then there will be a floating bar on top of the screen. Then you will be able to see the assortment room icon over here. So when you click this, you are able to select the assortment room where you want to bring it to them. And then once you click this one, then it will take you to the assortment room right away. So if you already have an assortment room ready, this is how you can move your item into the assortment room. If not, how you can do is, okay, so this is how it looks like. Once you click and then move to the item to the assortment room, you will be able to do this. So this is how you access. And there were some of the questions that the image is too big and then there are too many information inside of it. So to do that, we also have options over here where you can make it smaller and have less information in one place. And also, there are times that you want to see not just the content base, but also want to just spread out the entire colorways. And to do that, over here, there is a view by option. So this, I put it as a content. This is a default. But if you want to click, if you click the colorway options, without having the one content and having multiple colorways inside of it, you will be able to see the entire colorway in one place. So this is how you can do it. And then another way to find the assortment room is if you click this tab, workspace tab, we call it as a shortcut menu. You can also click the assortment tabs. So here you will be able to see the entire assortment rooms that you are invited into. So this way, if you have anything that you want to just jump in right away, instead of going the navigation one by one, you can just directly jump into here really easy. And then if you don't have an assortment room ready, how you can do is, let's go from here. So let's say to the season. If you go all the way down to the workroom level or the season level, there are options where you can see the workroom and assortment room at the same time. So how you can create your assortment room is by clicking this plus button, and then you can choose which one you would like to create. So here, this way, you can click this one, and then you can create an assortment room, new assortment room like this. So this is how you can create an assortment room. Okay, so I guess about the assortment room, I think I answered this one. So can you explain the assortment room is? I think it was also solved. And then the last question, I guess. Yeah, so I think so far the assortment room related question is all answered. And then I would like to also answer to this question. Okay, I will just answer this one. So about this webinar, we always share this webinar link after the webinar is finished via email. So you will be able to check the link after the session. But plus, we also do have a CLO-SET YouTube channel. So if you go find the CLO-SET YouTube channel, you also will be able to see the entire webinar session over there as well. So that's something that I wanted to share with you. And then, so this question, are you providing some seminars for companies for CLO-SET? Yes, we do. We provide a special demo for companies if we get any requests from them. So I can see that there are a lot of people here who are also part of each companies. So in this case, there are two ways. So if you are already in contact with regional CLO BDs or 3D designers, just feel free to ask for the request for the demo to them. Or if you don't have any contact point with any regional CLO office, you can also go to our help center and then leave the comments or leave the request over there. So how you do it, I will also show you once more. So this is our CLO-SET Help Center. You can just simply go to our webpage and then you can see Contact Us. So here we have everything. So maybe before you request something, we do have many different type of tutorial. So when you click the Getting Started, we have also very simple basic part 1, 2 of CLO-SET overview over here. And then if you have any other questions or any other features related questions, just simply click or type here, then you will be able to find out. So for example, let's say I want to know about the assortment room. Then if you click it, you can see all the related articles that we updated. And even if you search everything and you try to find everything, you cannot still find it. Then here we also have an option which is called Submit a Request. So if you just click this one and then leave any inquiries about our CLO-SET, our operation manager or we will contact you for the further steps. Okay. Then any other? Oh, okay. So the last question I have is this one. Could you please let us know about the options to share a project with client in CLO-SET? I could not last time do it. I'm sorry that you couldn't do it. So let me try to share my screen once more and then see how you can share the content with others. So this was also covered in our first webinar and then also second webinar very briefly. So we have, let's say this is the content page that we have, and then how you can share. It depends on which one you would like to share. Let's say you want to share the entire content page with other people. In this case, in content page, for example, you can simply click this one and then enter anyone you are working together. And then you can click, you can select which permission you would like to share as an editor or as a viewer. So for the editor, they can just upload anything that you want, they want to upload, or they can also download all the projects they are involved in. But for the viewers, you have additional options because the main default viewer option provides a very simple communication without downloading or uploading ability. So you can selectively check which option that you would like to share. And then this way, you are directly share the permission to someone to see this entire content page. But if you don't want to share this content page, but you want to share just the 3D project file, we also have an option called embed viewer. So if you click this one, then we create an entire embed viewer, the preview channel. So how you can do is to create just to simply copy and paste this link. And then let's say if you open it over here, just type it, then anyone who has this link can see the entire 3D assets with the colorways without logging in or logging out. So this is why we put this features on the advanced plan, because this can be also published in public to other people. So this is something that it will be very beneficial if you like to share with other end user inside of your e-commerce, or anyone you'd like to share without logging in or without having the CLO-SET account. Okay, so there were two ways that I wanted to share how to share the project file with the client in CLO-SET. Okay, so I hope this answer was all good. And then do you guys have any other questions? Or is there anything that Jessica or Jason would like to add?
No. I think we can answer remaining questions that we have from the chat room.
When is the next webinar? When is our next webinar? So we're actually planning to plan the webinar, but we also would love to hear what do you guys want to hear as a next webinar. So far we've been sharing the big pictures and brief explanation with the live demo, but then if you could share some of the feedbacks about like what you want to see as a next step, then we will apply that request for our next webinar. And then any other question remains?
So it says, can I download all the attachment at the same time or only one by one? So we provide a function, only provide the function to download the attachment one by one at this moment.
And I see there are a lot of also questions about the CLO-Vice and also any integration with the PLM. So to clarify this, what we're planning to do is instead of providing the 101 integration, we're planning to provide a plug-in features for to the users. The reason why is because we have been getting a lot of requests to integrate each data with other PLM or also other legacy system. So by creating this plug-in service, you can directly just install it inside of CLO-SET and then having a direct integration with PLM. And that is not included inside of CLO-Vice. So basically, CLO-Vice is an integration service between CLO and PLM. But when it comes to a CLO-SET plugin, since CLO and CLO-SET already has a great integration together automatically, we are trying to also make a connection with CLO-Vice together so that in the end, by using CLO-Vice and our CLO-SET plugin, user will be able to have a seamless connection between CLO, PLM, and CLO-SET. So that's our the ultimate goal. And so far, we have partnership. We have been having a partnership with the Bumburos, and we have a lot of plans to work with more PLMs. But that really depends on which client that we're starting to working with and which client is working with which PLM. So that really depends on our priority with the PLM kinds.
Seems like a lot of our users are interested in the virtual showroom as we are. We've been actually putting a lot of effort into this project. And just to let everyone know, the virtual showroom is going to be released in different phases. So the first phase would be the virtual showroom where our users need to have a 3D background image of your own, and we will provide a function for our users to embed the 3D viewers to the designated place. And as in phase 2, we are going to be providing a feature to display the 2D and 3D garments in a virtual space with having a availability to choose the different background options. And not to mention the order management part on top of it. So yeah, stay tuned with the virtual showroom. Once we release the virtual showroom phase 1, please feel free to share the feedback as much as you can, so that we can reflect that feedbacks to our phase 2 development. Yeah.
And then the file format support FBX, OBJ, GLB is also another question. And I think for this one, I would say there will be a lot of people or users like you who are not just using CLO, but also using other softwares. So this way, I would like to show you one more thing by sharing my screen. So here, the CLO-SET, one of the biggest benefit for using CLO-SET is not just to provide a compatibility for the native CLO file, but also to be able to manage other standard file as well. So we are trying to expand more compatibility for other file formats. But for example, if you click this one, this is a company library that I set up. And as you can see, even if it's a different file format, you still be able to see. And then as you just mentioned, OBJ and also FBX and GLB is also supported as a 3D viewer as well. So this way you can still make a comments, annotation, and make a full utilization of the 3D viewer that we have inside of the CLO-SET. So here I have the stream. But if you also click the block pattern, not only we have a JIT project file, we also have a GLB supported and as well as the FBX. So depending on what you have, you can always have it. And some of the files that we don't support, you can still upload inside of the CLO-SET and then still manage the file with the different version as well. So even if it's not a 3D asset, you can still upload a PDF file, Excel sheet, or JPG images. That is always possible. Okay, then the question about the 2D pattern. Yes, you also are able to see the 2D patterns. It's not like something that you can do in CLO-3D. CLO-3D is basically you're working to design the file together, but still in CLO-SET, we have a way to do it. Inside of the CLO-SET viewer, we have a function called 3D Tech Pack button. So if you click that, you're also able to see the 2D patterns together. And also, if you like to work on based on the 2D pattern, like Jason showed you inside of the live demo, you can always go to the Web Tech Pack and then go to the construction page so that you can always work with based on the 2D pattern together. And just to clarify and then give you the clear understanding, I will show you directly how it looks like. So this is the 3D viewer that we have over here. And then in this bar, we have a option called 3D Tech Pack. So if you click this, you not only you can see the each pattern on top of the 3D viewer right away, you also have these options to be able to see the very brief information about the 2D pattern. So this is the 3D Tech Pack tab, where you can see not just the 3D Tech Pack 3D patterns, but as well as the 2D patterns. Thank you for asking. And will we ever be able to see 3D all trims and to all trims and accessory? Do you mean by 3D like different file formats? If that's the right questions, yeah, and yes, that's our ultimate goal for users to be able to see all different kinds of file format. It will take a bit of time, but then over time, we're trying to support as much as possible. And do we have any remaining questions? And thank you so much for a lot of ideas about our next webinar. So we will definitely take through that comments and see what will be the best for our next step. Is it possible to make annotation directly to the pattern shown in the tech packs? No, because CLO-SET is basically a communication tool for 3D assets. And then I would say the 2D patterns only helps to communicate better. So that's why we don't have such function where you can actually put annotation directly on top of 2D patterns at the moment. But I think it's all time to kind of get over from 2D patterns to 3D patterns from now on. So that's how we are trying to, guide everyone by using CLO-SET in the future. So.
Yeah, and the next question is like how to integrate fabric file in CLO-SET with CLO. So actually, if you have watched our last webinar, we have mentioned we have a features called CLO-SET in CLO. So that actually in the CLO software, we have the plugin of CLO-SET so that you just need to click it and you can access all the assets you have saved it in CLO-SET. So that you can use CLO-SET as a storage and also your management of the assets, including the fabric. And if you know maybe the fabric, it means maybe just the texture image or even the 3D fabric, the set FAB formats, it's still okay. You just save on it. But later on, you just go back to CLO and then use that CLO-SET in CLO features, that plugin, and then you can directly open seamlessly everything. And back and forth, if you have make anything in CLO, and you can also seamlessly upload it back to CLO-SET, within the same interface. Yeah, I hope it answers your question. Yeah.
And just to let you know, if anyone would like to see the entire flow that is happening in CLO-SET, please check out the tutorial that I was mentioning in CLO-SET. You'll be able to see the entire workflow and then each features as a live demo in there. So that maybe, Alice, you can kind of briefly understand how you can use it from start till the end.
And also regarding to building the digital library, I'm sure that refers to the company library that we have. So for your question, for our first webinar, our topic was to cover how to build the group structure and how to build the company library, along with how to set up the permission based off of different business type models. So please check out our first webinar. I'm sure that you will gain a lot of insight out of it.
And the question from Alison, is there any resource to show how all of CLO's services and tools are viewed as an ecosystem? It's actually a great question. That's what we are also planning to do with the other different products. But as a first step, since CLO has a very good reputation in the market, whereas CLO-SET and other service has a smaller market share at the moment, we're trying to raise and increase that existence in the market. So to do that, CLO-SET team has been participating a lot of trade shows such as PI New York, PI Apparel, and other webinar and other events. So there is a PI Apparel New York coming soon in June. Then in that stage, the entire CLO Virtual Fashion will explain the entire ecosystem, including all the products such as CLO, 3D, CLO-SET, CLO-SET Connect, and others, etc. So that's something that we're planning to do. And then as a next step, we are definitely planning to share with everyone online as well.
And answer to Allison's question, is there a resource to show how all of CLO's services and tools are viewed as an ecosystem? So we actually have a video, which how we call it as ecosystem, to show the entire ecosystem of how the individual products that we have under the CLO Virtual Fashion. I will actually share that link with you as the answer to your question from the chat room. But yeah, so stay tuned.
And the PR Apparel is happening in New York in June, but it already has happened in Europe, Hong Kong, and LA as well. So we are following the PR Apparel journey together, but I'm sure there will be other events will happen soon in another region too. Later, will it be possible to edit? About the question from Peyton, currently we don't have a specific features to change a light or camera or render settings, but as long as you have all set it in CLO, you can directly pull it out in CLO-SET. And soon, as a roadmap, we are planning to develop or launch a new function where it's called render preset. So if you have a specific preset for the render option condition, you will be able to save them inside of CLO-SET so that you don't have to go back and forth with CLO all the time. So that's something that we're planning to do soon. Thank you. Okay. Are we running out of time soon? Okay. So I guess we will wrap up the chat at this point. And then, as you can see, we just shared the handout over there. And I'm so sorry for some of the, for you guys who saw our presentation was a bit hard to read because of the little small letters. Please make sure to download the handout for the clear version and bigger version so that you can all have it in your place.
Yeah, so just like shared from the chat, the questions that we were not able to answer during our webinar session, we will consolidate those questions and send out the follow-up email with everybody. So stay tuned for the newsletter that we send out.
Okay, and just to let you know, CLO-SET, I think are likely to CLO-SET. We update a lot of new features and a lot of new little things very frequently, like almost every 2 weeks. So for you who would like to see what's updates in CLO-SET, please make sure to turn on to get the newsletter, because that's the channel that we usually provide so that you can see what's coming next, etc. So like one of the things that it's coming soon is the virtual showroom. So please make sure to turn it on for the updates. Okay. About CLO, Jason, do you know when it's released soon for the 7.2?
We are in the last stage of the testing, so we will release soon. Yeah.
Thank you.
And should we wrap up? Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining our webinar today. It was always grateful to meet all of you guys and hear your voices. And please stay tuned for our upcoming webinar. Once we are confirmed with what's going to be our next topic and when it's going to be happening, we will share that news with you guys through our newsletter and through our notification banner within our CLO-SET webpage as well. So yeah, so let's say goodbye.
Yes, thank you so much, and have a great day, or have a great night, have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.